Welcome to episode 19 of the Automation Podcast, brought to you by insightsinautomation.com. I'm Shawn, your host, and on today's show we have some big news. Our Kickstarter campaign, which we ran for 40 days and which ended on Friday, May 2nd, was successful. That's right, over the 40 days of the campaign we were able to raise enough funds from project backers to be able to move ahead with the production of a Basics PLC training DVD. Now, if you want to know the basics about Kickstarter and more about what the actual Kickstarter campaign was about, I would say rewind back to episode 18. I cover that in detail there. But now that it's complete, let's talk about how it all came about. So early on, when I launched the Kickstarter campaign and posted about it on LinkedIn and Facebook, I got several very close family and friend members who made some initial pledges, and that was great. I mean, I was over 10% in the first couple of days, which was pretty cool and pumped me up. Then everything kind of plateaued. So even though I did daily and weekly updates, I was posting things online, posting things on the blog, posting things on YouTube. The pledges really kind of stagnated and plateaued. So in the final weeks, I made the decision to send everybody a single message, both on Facebook and on LinkedIn, telling them, hey, I have under 2 weeks to go. Please consider a pledge. And from that message on Facebook, I got several more family and friend members who made a pledge and backed the project. Also on LinkedIn, several of my long-term clients, these are people I work with and have been working with for 10 years or more, and they got my message on LinkedIn and they jumped in and they made pledges as well. And that brought the project's funding up to about 60% or so. But something else happened on LinkedIn. Information about my Kickstarter was shared by some very nice people with some leaders in the automation industry. They not only pledged at one of the highest levels they could, but they also shared it with their contacts. And that helped put me over the top and helped my Kickstarter break the 100% funding mark and become a reality. So that everybody out there who not only pledged but also shared information about my Kickstarter with their connections, thank you for making it a success. I really appreciate it. So now that my Kickstarter is completely funded, what's next? Well, the first thing I have to do is really wait for a couple weeks to get the funds from the Kickstarter project itself. So while I wait for the funds, I've been meticulously going over the project budget, trying to cram in as much as possible into the limited number of funds I have available. And I've even actually started placing some orders using my credit card so that I can get the project started as soon as possible. So some of the next steps after I receive the funds to produce the DVD include sending a survey out to all the backers. So I need to know what their email addresses are so I can either send them thank you emails or send them early access codes if they're a producer. I also need to ask them how they want their name to appear, both on the project website credits and in the DVD credits. And I also need to get their physical shipping address if they chose a backer level that included a physical reward, like a USB memory stick or a copy of the actual DVD when it's done being produced. And of course, the biggest thing I got to do is actually produce the DVD. So I need to write a script, I need to film all the footage that's going to be included on the DVD, and then I have to go through the post-production process and clean everything up and turn it into a quality educational training video. And my goal to finish that is by the end of June, so I can ship all the DVDs out in July, as promised in the Kickstarter campaign. Well, that's it for this episode of the Automation Podcast. Again, a very sincere thank you to all the project backers of my Kickstarter. Really appreciate your belief and your support in backing my project. And if you, the Automation Podcast listener, have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to share them with me at theautomationpodcast.com. You can always stay up to date with all the Insights websites at insightsinautomation.com. I'm your host, Shawn, and until next time, peace.